What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the 5th episode of the Grogu's Gang podcast. My name is Carter. I'm your host, and today I'm joined by Mike and a special guest that I'm going to get to in a second. Unfortunately, Arda and Caleb are other two people that we usually do it with. They were unable to make it to today's recording, but I'm joined by Mike and also very special guest, Michelle from Ahsoka X Tano on Instagram, if you know her from there. How you doing?
Hi, thank you for having me. I'm doing great, and I'm excited to be on and chat with you guys.
Fantastic.
Yes, I'm excited to have you on, and unfortunately the boys are missing in action, but here you are. Ahsoka's here to talk about Bad Batch. So Michelle and I have been like friends for a long time. So yeah,
ages it seems.
Literally since I've been on Instagram. So this is fun. Just really friends sitting around a water cooler talking about the Bad Batch.
Perfect. We're bringing friends together on this thing right here. But yeah, we're happy. I'm happy to have both you guys on here. But today our topic is Bad Batch, and before we get into that, I just want to clarify a couple things before we get started, because I've gotten a lot of questions. All of us have gotten a lot of questions about this. And first of all, the first episode of this show is releasing on May 4th. I've seen a lot of people asking, I'm like, well, what's the first? May 4th is the first episode, so it drops on Bad Batch May 4th.
Yeah.
And another thing that we saw in the questions, which was kind of funny, I just want to make it clear. None of us, I know you guys are getting your pre-book sent in for High Republic and everything, a little early access and stuff like that. But we none of us work for Lucasfilm or anything, so we don't. None of what we say is confirmed or anything. Like Mike said, we're just Star Wars fans. Just talking about our excitement for this show. But just want to make that clear too, because I got a bunch of people asking us about that. But yeah, man.
Really, that's funny.
I know.
That people were inquiring about our status or if things are official. That's quite funny.
I know. It really, they're asking us I'm like, I want to know this too. They're asking us crazy questions that we don't know.
I'm kind of scared. That's kind of scary. Yeah, I'll be careful what I say on here.
We could be spreading some major stuff right here, and we'd have people believing us. But I'm glad I got that out of the way, just so everybody knows. And but let's get into these questions. So we put up our Q&As. You guys sent us your questions. Bad Batch is our theme, and our first question of the day, it comes from Drake's on Instagram. He sent us the question: do they still have their chips in their heads? And he's talking about the inhibitor chips that all clones have, or so we think all clones have. What do you think, Mike? I want to hear your thing on this. You think the Bad Batch has the inhibitor chip?
So, okay. So let me preface this a little. So what's funny about this is that when I was recording the Clone Wars breakdown episodes as they were airing on Disney or debuting on Disney Plus, I was reviewing them with ASW family, if you will. And one question that we just kept getting, and we were only reviewing the Mandalore arc, was did the Bad Batch execute Order 66? And it was like, I thought, there would be, different questions like, what do you think Ahsoka? I mean, there was questions like, what do you think Ahsoka is up to now? But like the frequent question was the Bad Batch, and of course the series hadn't been announced yet. So now we're gonna get this answer. But because they're I never thought that 99 had a chip in his head. I just he was more of a deformed clone, so I just felt like that in itself took the chip out of the question, or maybe it's still there. I don't know, obviously, but I don't know. I feel like they're gonna go with no, they don't have it, and I've seen a lot of fascinating theories, even revolving around the sizzle reel that they released. That they're going back to Camino, and then they're kind of in shell shock, like what the heck is happening here? Like all these clones are not our brothers anymore. Like they've turned into something else. So obviously I don't know the answer, but I'm just going to say that they don't have them, that they're genetically modified and therefore they did not have them. So, or obviously all the clones are sort of genetically modified, right?
Yeah.
But I just feel like this is a special case that they do not have the chip.
I love that. And I'm 100% with you. I think they never had them in the first place because, so it's funny, I think I told you both before we started, I just was watching the Bad Batch arc to like prep for this and to remind myself of the characters and whatnot. And do you remember the scene in the second episode of Distant Echo where Rex asks Hunter, like, who do you guys report to? And he goes, like, oh, like, we talk, you know, we receive orders from
actually a
Cody.
Great point. Yeah.
But then he goes, but I couldn't tell you who. So that led me to think, like, oh, it would be so
That's
cool
perfect.
if they were getting orders or whatever, like from Palpatine, but they never knew it the whole time. So they'd never had chips in the first place because now in the Bad Batch, they're going to go on mercenary missions or special assignments from the highest ranks of the Empire, whether it's Palpatine or like Thrawn or Tarkin, right, who we see in the sizzle. So yeah, I think they never
Wow.
had the chips because they were never intended to be blind or like, you know,
Yeah.
blindly following robots once once Order 66 was begins. So,
And
Wow.
and
Yeah.
that
That's
makes
great
so
that
much
you
sense.
rewatched them.
yeah.
That's fascinating. Dang, I want to, like, we've been recording these episodes, I've let everyone know that I'm rewatching the Clone Wars chronologically so I can rank each episode and their top 5 moments. And right now I just watched Shadow Warrior in season 4, so I'm almost to season 7. So what Michelle was talking about the episodes before we recorded, and I was like, dang, I really want to go back and watch those now, but yeah, I'll get there. So I can confirm with you that's cool. Thank you
Yeah.
for bringing that up. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's a great point. And I kind of, you said that and I thought about it the other way. Like you said it like they could be taking orders like from Palpatine, but he's like I feel like he said it in a way, or at least I heard it in a way that he's like who do you take orders from or whatever. And he's like, I couldn't tell you. Like he doesn't know, like he has no idea. And I feel like if he had the chip, all clones would say, I take orders from the Chancellor, because like they wouldn't question it or anything. Like you ask them who their commander is, and the Chancellor's their like supreme guy. So if they didn't have chips, maybe they, so that could be the thing too. But I feel like it would make sense too for them not to have chips, because these guys are pretty tough, like I feel like you wouldn't want to take the risk of maybe controlling them with a chip. Maybe you tell them the truth and they're just doing your stuff like as normal people, just because you don't want them to get out of control or anything. But I don't know.
Quite the twist. If we found out that they were like willingly like committing, acts to further the Empire, like immediately after Order 66, that would be fascinating. I feel like I would be a little heartbroken.
Yeah, a little sad.
Yeah.
Like,
Dang. I mean, now that I'm thinking about it, because I don't think that, or each of them has their own personality, and maybe they do have the chips inside, and their personalities or characteristics will play into that, right? Like we could have Tech, like maybe they start experiencing, falling into the trance of Order 66, and then Tech is like, what the heck is going on? And somehow cybernetically, or even Echo was able to cybernetically bypass that, and then Echo teams up with Tech, and they're trying to figure out what the heck is happening to Hunter and Wrecker and Crosshair, and they're trying to figure it out, and like, all right, we gotta like open their heads up, and we gotta remove that chip stat. Like, I don't know what's happening.
Oh, that's so cool.
That would, I think that might play into that, but
that would be like the saving grace. Like Echo deciding to be a part of their squad is the reason, because I feel like his chip is for sure gone. Like I feel like he is not, like his brain was messed with. I feel like it's not going to work on him. So he could be like the saving grace of that squad. Like him deciding to go with them saves them, because he's the one who finds out that the chips are. And that'd be cool, because Fives you know, them two, they were the two
What?
guys. So Fives figured it out, and then Echo figured it out on his own too.
That is a
cool.
great point, though. Like, because Echo is a reg, you know, if I'm using the terminology from the Bad Batch. But Echo is a reg, but because of his like what they did to him, there's no way he, like, if we're going with the theory that they don't have the chips at all, then that makes sense why he would no longer have it. But to your point, if they all do, then like Echo's gonna be the one to
he would be the
save
one.
them. Yeah.
That'd be really cool. I like that.
That's amazing.
Hey,
I just thought about that right now.
All you guys said stuff that I totally did not think about.
That's why we're here.
It's good stuff right here. Awesome. So Star Wars Doom from Instagram, he asked us, what is our opinion on the Bad Batch saving Grogu? And Michelle, I want you to kick this one off for us. What is, on that theory, the Bad Batch saving Grogu? Ahsoka was talking about the Bad Batch who took him and saved him.
So
that's a theory.
It's funny, when you first mentioned that, I actually assumed you were referring to after, like saving Grogu from Luke's temple.
Oh no!
But now that you say that, I'm like, oh, like that's what I first thought. But I've never heard of this theory until now. And I don't think it makes a lot of sense, personally.
Oh, really? You thought we were talking about Luke's temple? Oh,
yeah.
That's funny.
But if you are saying in the beginning of the story of how Grogu was saved from the temple and then hidden away, right? If you're talking about that, I don't know. I mean, well, yeah, to your point, Ahsoka says that he was saved from the Jedi temple, presumably saved by a Jedi. So I don't know that the Bad Batch would be the ones to save him, and I doubt that, like, they're clones and they are far removed normally from the workings of the Jedi. So that would be interesting to me if they somehow were on Coruscant and somehow like knew, like, we have to save this child. But it is a theory for sure.
It's a theory. I mean, I'll give it to him, but yeah. I don't think that would be the case at all. They don't even care about regular clones, and you know, clones love each other. They're all bros and stuff, but I highly doubt that they would care about a little baby. I want to say baby Yoda, but people hate that. But a little baby Yoda species dude running around, you know, I don't think, and that means they would be there while Anakin's attacking the temple.
Oh, true.
And I mean that I don't think that makes any sense to me, but yeah. I don't think that's the case.
I struggle with this a bit because you have to, well, seeing what people have pieced together from the sizzle reel and saying that the Bad Batch might be elsewhere when Order 66 starts, or they might even be on Kashyyyk when it starts. Like,
I was going to ask about that.
I mean, that might happen. We still don't know. That's unclear where it's going to start. I'm convinced the story is going to begin before Order 66. Do you guys think that?
I think that too. I think that they'll show.
I think they're going to show the. Oh, I totally cut you off. Go ahead.
Oh no, yeah, just the same thing that you were saying. I don't think they'll know what happens. I think they'll take a mission from the Republic, go on a mission, come back, and then the Republic's the Empire. I think that's. I think that's what's gonna happen.
I think they're going to be on some random planet doing some random assignment, and then they're going to receive word from their mysterious commander, and then they'll return to Coruscant and they'll watch Palpatine give his good old speech. Which I can't wait to see again. And I think then they're going to just be like told to go back to Kamino and start their training / mercenary missions. That's my theory.
Ooh. Yeah, I mean, with the Grogu theory, I don't know. You have to first set the theory in motion that they're anywhere near Coruscant, okay? Which it always seems that the Bad Batch, like Quinlan Vos, are always away from Coruscant. By the way, we'll talk about how I want Quinlan Vos to be in the show, but that's later.
That's coming up after the commercial break.
I mean, listen, I always, well, from I've gathered from the episodes, it always seems Bad Batch was always sent on the front lines of war, but always they were on the front lines, but working behind the scenes. They were just sent like, oh, you're gonna go here this week, you might go there next week, but never near Coruscant because,
Yeah.
well, they're not needed there. It's not, it's not a special case. So first you have to set the theory in motion that, oh,
I
they're
definitely
anywhere near Coruscant, and then you have to like set in motion, oh, they might have or they even have their chips, or they don't have their chips, and oh, they happen to stumble upon. Well, first of all, why would they even go to the temple if they don't even have their chips? Like, oh, let's just follow everybody else. Like, okay, and then set in motion like, oh, they stumble upon this yodeling and take him along. So I don't know. Yeah, to me the theory is not. I don't like saying not credible, but it's a little too far-fetched for me, so I
a
don't
lot
buy
of
into
stuff
it.
has to happen
Yes.
to, to make that the case.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. Here is our next question. We got Wyatt's Harden. He's from Instagram, and he asked us, do you think that the special ops commander, the one we see from the sizzle reel, is Cody, Crosshair, or someone else? I don't think it's Crosshair. I'm going to say that right now.
No, because we see him
Yeah, we
with
see
the
him
others.
Yeah. I think it's Commander Cody, straight up. I don't
Really?
I think it's Commander Cody. He's bro. If the Bad Batch are going AWOL, or they're going somewhere else, like they defected from Order 66 or whatever, and they're being hunted down, I think they're 100% gonna call Commander Cody, because Rex didn't even know who the Bad Batch was, and that was towards the end of the Clone Wars.
Right.
And Commander Cody has supposedly worked with them a lot, and it would be a perfect way to say where Commander Cody is. That's always been
Agreed, 100%. And they have so much respect for him that it would just not
Exactly.
only make it like, oh, here's this villain of the week type thing, or oh, the ops guy or the ops team is like close to catching us, right? Like it
Yeah.
actually has some value when it's Commander Cody and there's some actual relationship or past relationship there. And imagine, and it would make sense, like, okay, right away, let's be honest here, the Bad Batch would wipe these people out, this
course.
co-op team, right? But if they see Commander Cody, what if they're trying to help him out? That would be cool.
Exactly. And I feel like they would put up a better
Mind
fight
blown.
with Commander Cody's, because wasn't Commander Cody like the best clone, like the highest ranked clone or whatever? So I feel like and if anybody knows how to take Bad Batch down, I think it's for sure Commander Cody.
I mean, and it just, for me, I would love something like that, not because I want more Commander Cody stories, because I do, but it adds like a layer of narrative, and also like just a relationship issue that we get to deal with, rather than like the team bickering with Wrecker or vice versa with Echo. I like that banter, but it could get annoying.
You only can do so much,
Exactly. I mean, look at Rebels, right? Ezra and Zeb, it was nothing but banter for like the first 3 episodes, and then they gave you an episode like, okay, let's fix this banter where we can set them up on a brother, have a brother moment, have that, which I think that was great. Like, I love that, but I don't know how they would do it here and also keep us like, all right, that's fixed and everything, and it's only these characters that we're gonna be with. Because at least Ezra got to mingle with, Kanan, Hera, Zeb, Sabine, and, everyone else. And with these guys, it's just them 5. And, so.
Okay, but Mike, you are speaking to something that, I don't know if this is going off topic, but you are speaking to something that I really, really want to see in this show. And that is depth. Because admittedly, right, the 4 episodes that we did get were just very action oriented. Like, you pretty much have a solid idea of the trope or the type of character that each of the Bad Batch are, because they introduce that right away. Like, Wrecker is the muscle, but he is a bit of a baby. You see Crosshair's got an attitude and doesn't like to work with anyone. Hunter is the leader, right? Like, you see, or Tech is literally called Tech, so what else do you think? What's his thing gonna be?
His thing is.
So I think you're speaking so much to like what I really hope we get with this show, and what we've seen consistently with Clone Wars, with what we've seen with Rebels, and dare I say, what we've seen with Resistance, is you see character arcs and you see more than just very surface level portrayal of characters. you dig into
Right.
the relationships that they have with each other. So I am so on board with the Cody theory because you're introducing like interpersonal conflict, which is so interesting for characters that, for the most part, as we know them, they can't really have attachments to each other. Well, Bad Batch would be a unique situation, but clones, all other clones, they prepare themselves to lose their brothers every battle
Yeah.
they go into. And so even though the show's done a really good job of like obviously we're all attached to the clones and we love, Fives and Echo, the team or whatnot, but like, oh, I just think, oh, that would be so cool, and I'm so on board for it.
I'm about to cry. That was deep. I'm about to cry over here. I mean, I think like what you said, because you and I have talked about this
Oh, yeah.
a year ago about the Bad Batch, and to me, like you said, the episodes were very action oriented. And I'm gonna be honest with everyone. I tried rewatching. This was a year ago, right after the first
Yeah.
episode came out. I was like, let me rewatch it. And I knocked out because I was tired from school, admittedly, but like when it's just action heavy stuff, like I just fall asleep. Like I ironically, it just bores me when it's just loud noise, rather than story. And yeah, that I would love to see depth, and I knew that we were gonna get it, but at first I was shocked with the news. I was like, these guys, of all the things we could have done
Right.
in a Ahsoka and Rex show, you guys are going to give us about the standpoint from these
Yeah.
characters, the perspective from these characters. But I always said since day one, I think there's talented people working on the show, like Carrie Beck. Go back and listen
Oh my
to
gosh,
Rebel
yeah.
Recon, okay, with
Oh my
her
God, yeah.
describing the characters, talking about Sabine Wren, understanding Hera's plight, like the way she breaks down each of the Rebels characters in her various interviews for Rebels Recon on YouTube or StarWars.com. Wow, Carrie Beck is just a force to be reckoned with, and I think she just understands characters and she knows how
Yeah.
to do character work because she was there collaborating with Dave Filoni daily for Rebels. So I mean, hey, I think she's awesome. And then we also have like Athena Portillo. She's amazing.
Yes. Oh my God,
So
yes.
we have great people working on this show. And then of course we also have Brad Rao, who's been working on Clone Wars like since forever, and Rebels. So
Yep.
I mean, he got his own character, Fan Rao, in Rebels. So yeah, we just have great people working on the show. So I have a lot of faith. A lot of the writers are from people we've grown up with. So yeah, I'm excited for the character work that's going to be done, but I'm also excited for the era. So let's eat.
Let's eat. I agree, man. And also it's like you're right, like it's an obscure type. Like you're like, come on, man, Bad Batch, like we're getting a show about them. But from my point of view, I see that as they have like a must need story to tell right here, because
Yeah.
that's kind of you would think that they're running out, maybe in 10 years they're running out of ideas, so they make a Bad Batch series or something. But they're in prime time right now, and they're taking the time to make a Bad Batch story. So I feel like there's definitely something important about that.
I mean, that's what it seemed like, right? Like I was like, Bad Batch, are you kidding me? But I mean, obviously there's a story to tell. So I'm interested, and I'm kind of scared though that I'm glad we're talking about characters and more of a depth look into these characters. But like, I'm scared because all I'm seeing, and I mean, as a Star Wars fan, I do this all the time. I want to see connections. When I was talking about Force Awakens way back when, I wanted to see connections to this. I wanted to see maybe an Ode Kanan, right? I want to see that stuff in here too, but I also want to see
It's got to
we've
have
been seeing.
purpose.
Right. It has to have purpose rather than, hey, y'all, let's
Yeah.
show you a fantastic, right? Let's show you a very fan-filled lore type thing where we fill in the gaps. Like I want it to be more than that. I'm a lore guy, love my lore, but I also love a good story. So give us a good story first, and then sprinkle in the lore and familiar characters. Because right now,
Yeah.
I just see the excitement being like, I can't wait to see Order 66 again, or I can't wait to. It's nothing about the Bad Batch themselves. It's just more
literally.
about like, I can't wait to see clones on Camino. I can't wait to see Commander Cody possibly. So that kind of scares me a little. Listen, again, I'm a fan. I know what you guys are talking about. I speed read through books sometimes because I just want to get to the good parts where like Qui-Gon Jinn once, I don't know, he fell down while he was meditating in space, like cool tidbits like that, right? But yeah, I mean, I just want a good story. So if y'all are gonna hate me for it, I understand, but I just want a good story.
Some people hate you anyway, so it's all good.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh no. Oh, I love
But
it. I think
I
that's
was
great.
I was gonna say, like, relating back to the characters things. Last thing on this before we move on to the last question, next question. But I was just gonna say, I'm really excited to see the dynamic that the squad has, like, within themselves, because they were all fighting with like regular clones, and they obviously don't work with regular clones a lot, and I mean, I don't think they work with Jedi a lot either. So I want to see like just them on their own mission. I feel like they'd be pretty crisp at what they do, especially if they've been doing it throughout the entire Clone Wars just by themselves. I feel like they're gonna have a close and like a nice teamwork in there. So I'm excited to see that. We're going next question. We're going next question. Movie rankings 32 from Instagram. They asked us. This is relating to that other question too. Will the Bad Batch meet up with Rex, Gregor, Wolf, or any other clones after Order 66?
So yeah, that's another thing. Will this happen? Will that happen? I want to see this, right? I think this is one of the cases where, all right, they let's be honest here, they shoehorned in the Bad Batch in the final season of Clone Wars, so they could set up the series, which is cool and everything. But I would love to see if they shoehorned in a cameo from Ahsoka and Rex before Rex meets up with the other clones. He's just with Ahsoka for a while, maybe a couple months, and Bad Batch stumbles upon them. I would love if they were shoehorned in and it sets up their own series. Like, okay, right now we have a live action universe going on right now for the TV shows, Mando universe, right? We could do something in live action, setting up like a little event. Like that would be cool. So with the clones, sure, throw them in there. I think, well, I don't know how much involvement Dave Filoni has in this show, but I'm sure, he's talking to Athena Portillo every now and then, and Carrie Beck and the other writers every now and then. I'm sure he has like, well, now he's like that George Lucas role where they'll just like call him up and be like, Dave, what do you think about this? What do we? And then he'll like suggest things to them, or be like, I really want you guys to work with Gregor and show his journey from where he was, left for dead on what was the planet's name? No, not Agamar.
Abafar?
Abafar.
Oh, pulled that out of a deep memory there. Nice.
I knew it was Abafar. There we go. Not Agamar. Abafar.
I don't know why I remember that.
That's amazing.
Abafar, I want you to show his journey from Abafar to, Nar Shaddaa, and the Bad Batch will stumble there for a mercenary job and get there, and they stumble upon Gregor, and then they help him get home or to his next step. Or they're really the ones uniting Rex. Like, let's say they run into Gregor and it's like, hey, we just ran into Gregor, our old friend Gregor, like, and Rex is like, where? Take me to him. Then they connect Rex with Gregor, and then they connect Wolf with them. Like, that would be cool. Or maybe there's another clone that joins them that maybe died by, on the desert of Silos.
That'd be cool.
So that would be cool. But yeah, I think we'll definitely see them at one point. I would think it would be a missed opportunity, if you will, if we didn't see them. So yeah.
I just checked, by the way. Dave Filoni is executive producing the show.
Oh, he is.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Well, is that the role George Lucas had for Clone Wars as executive producer, or was that?
Probably. I don't know off the top of my head.
I'll look this up. Michelle, give us your take on the question.
Well, I guess this is a tough one, because part of me, I think, kind of goes back to what you were saying earlier, Mike. Like, if it's just bringing in all of these characters or places that we've already seen, you don't want it to get overcrowded and not have enough originality or just newness to it. So honestly, I'm kind of team like not seeing Rex and Ahsoka, or
I agree.
Gregor or Wolf, to be honest.
Mhm.
Only because I think that there could be an entirely different story to tell for them. Because to your point, like Rex, somehow in Rebels, Rex ends up with Wolf and Gregor, which based off of the stories that we know, it's like, well, I want to know how they ended up together.
Yeah,
Like
because they're
that.
super separate squad. Like they're totally
Exactly.
different.
Yeah, we all think that Gregor is dead, and Lord
Yeah.
knows where Wolf is when Order 60. Oh, well, I suppose he.
Not even sure.
Do you think that he shoots? I'm like, oh my God, do we know if who's the clone that shoots down Plo Koon?
I don't
Oh,
think it was Wolf.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was another
Thankfully.
clone. I forgot who it was
Yeah.
specifically, but maybe Caleb would know. But it was
Yeah,
it
he
was
probably
not
would.
it was not Wolf. Thankfully.
So that's to me, that's such an like Wolf has no reason to reject, from our knowledge, Wolf has no reason to reject Order 66. Gregor, possibly similar to Echo, suffered a major head injury, so perhaps his chip just doesn't go off, and he would also potentially be out in the middle of nowhere, so he wouldn't have any Jedi to go kill, hypothetically, right?
Yeah.
But like, so I'm basically what I'm getting at is I think the story of how Rex, Gregor, and Wolf end up together is I think there's really a lot of room for that to be its own thing, whether
Mhm.
that is a comic, a animated show, a book. So yeah, I don't know. I think it would be really cool to keep the Bad Batch just separate from the rest of them.
That'd
I
be yeah.
agree. 100%.
That'd be. You know what? Either way, I'm just excited for this. But yeah, I mean, for me, the less I think we already have so much to deal with and so much on our plate or on the plate that like explore the era. Could Quinlan Voss show up? Could this Jedi show up? A new Jedi is, what happens during this time? What are the clones experiencing? I mean, we've gotten tidbits in the comics and such. Like they're still like in their state of Order 66, right? But I mean, I'm just excited to dive deeper. So we already have a lot to explore.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm just if they go that route, awesome. If they don't, I'm just hoping
Yeah.
that the story's there, holds up, and I'm set. But to answer the question about George or Dave Filoni or George Lucas's
yeah.
role in Clone Wars, it was executive producer. So he's basically the George Lucas of the series. So that's
circle.
cool.
Love that.
Full circle.
I think if Rex and Ahsoka are gonna show up, I think it would kind of take away from the Bad Batch. Like we would start watching it for them instead of the Bad Batch, which it's like that's what it's about. So that's why I don't think that they would, unless they're only popping up for a little bit. Mike was talking, and I got an idea. This is a crazy theory, but like, what if this theory is off the? This is fun though. So what if Tech and Echo come up with like an easy way to get the chip, like to like disable the chip or something, so they create like a clone revolt or something, or like, and they give it to Rex so Rex can go find Wolf and Gregor, and then they use that little easy method that they learned to create a clone revolt or something like that. I'm not
Ooh.
that's crazy.
Sick.
That's crazy theory talking right there. But yeah, this is another question. We got 3 related questions right here, but hey, it's all good stuff. So Oliver Jenkins 4 on Instagram, he asks us, what are our most wanted character appearances? And I'm going to try and say that makes sense. Like, let's not say Darth Maul, or I don't know, they're running mercenary missions, so we maybe could see Darth Maul, but like things that would most likely make sense. What, Michelle, you want to start us off? Just like, who would you want to see the most?
Okay, well, this is interesting because you guys have both alluded several times to various Jedi that we know have survived Clone Wars, the Order 66. So, like Quinlan Voss or Kanan. And I had never thought of that. Like, I just, for whatever reason, I did not even consider that we could see Jedi. But as far as characters that aren't Jedi, I kind of actually think your thought there about like the underworld, the criminal underworld, like
Yeah, we could
I would
like
be
Dryden
interested.
Voss or
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was gonna say. Like Dryden Voss or Kira. Like,
ooh, that'd be awesome.
I am craving more Kira content with my very soul, so that would be really cool.
Yes.
Um, yeah, I think it would be really interesting since we know that they're going on mercenary missions, if this show kind of gets into like the dirty business of the Empire taking over on different planets and such, and how the Empire is going to establish its foothold, or where doesn't it establish its foothold right away, and instead is these criminal markets are in charge or whatnot. Um, yeah, I guess those are my thoughts there, but I'm most
That's
curious to
cool.
see who you two have thought about.
Well, I've already said my answer. I really
Mr.
want to see.
Voss.
I want to see Mr. Quinlan Voss. I think
Mm,
he was done dirty in Clone Wars. Not his take on the character, but like they were going to, have him come back, and really the episode with him and Obi-Wan was just a setup for a future episode,
mm.
or a future arc, and we were going to get like 8 more episodes
Oh
with
my
Quinlan
God.
Voss. So it's like, oh, that's
That's
so
the dream.
that
Oh,
I mean, great that I got it in a novel, right? But it's
Yeah,
not the same as
not the
seeing.
same.
Oh, it's not the same. Love my books though, but it's not the same. And
Bring Mike to tears over here.
I'm crying over here. I just read Alphabet Squadron Shadowfall, and I'm over here crying.
It's not the same.
Okay. Yeah, I really would love to see Quinlan Voss, what he's up to. It's already been alluded to in the comics that he's alive, he's out there. Yeah,
Is-
and I mean, it's
that's cool.
the possibilities are endless. And I was actually just reading his file by Tan Devo from the Clone Wars, the Inspector. Like, there's this like in-universe book they have, like a file thing, and you could read about like all the files that the family has on various characters, and they were always keeping an eye on him, but he was like very friendly with the Coruscant police, with the investigative forces, so they always respected Quinlan Voss, but they always kind of kept an eye on him, and it was like, but his whereabouts after Order 66 are unknown, and I'm like,
Oh, wow.
Bro, you
interesting.
have to tell me right now, Quinlan Voss. I need somebody say this to me, bro, so I can get mad. Somebody tell me that Quinlan Voss is not the perfect Jedi to be working with the Bad Batch. Them together, bro.
Yes.
Oh my
Oh.
gosh.
That's
chaotic, bro. That's too much.
So we're
That'd be
recording
perfect.
this on March 2nd, 2021, and it's you probably see on Instagram from Michelle's post or mine. Like, March 2nd is just a big day in Star Wars, but like one the first post that I posted today was with a scene between Quinlan Voss and Obi-Wan. And this Bad Batch are always like the type of dudes that like they won't open the door, they'll just kick it down and storm your place no matter what, even if they're just coming in to ask, for a
Yeah.
favor, they'll just break your door down. This is what Quinlan Voss does, right? He goes to Zero the Hutt's mother's house. He just breaks down the door, slashes it into pieces, and then Obi-Wan, of course, is like, "Boss, someone lives here." And then uh what's it, Zero the Hutt's mom is like really upset. It's like, y'all are like breaking into my house, breaking down my door. Like, what's wrong with you guys?
That's
And
the best
Obi-Wan
Hut.
right away says, "Thousand pardons, madam. He hasn't mastered the concept of knocking." And I was driven to tears when I was watching the episode. I'm like, that's just so Quinlan Voss. So yeah, they're like Carter said, they're just
Perfect
such a
combination.
perfect match. Perfect. So yeah,
I agree.
I would love that. I wouldn't. Okay, so I know you guys had said like you don't want the spotlight taken from Bad Batch, but a pattern that I've noticed is, in Rebels, when they were bringing on Ahsoka and Rex, like everyone was excited because we didn't have closure yet with the characters because they were abruptly taken from us. So when they were appearing in Rebels, it's like, oh my God. And I understand, but I was one of those people that was like, okay, but like, I still need closure too, but I love these characters that we are
Yeah.
with now, that I don't
Yep.
want the spotlight to be taken. And Dave Filoni and company did it so masterfully that they had all
Yeah.
these big, not just characters, but storylines. We got to see the completion of Ahsoka and Vader. and it was done so masterfully that it didn't take away anything from the characters, and it overall retrospectively it just added to their development, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, look at the characters post Twilight of the Apprentice. So I mean, and same with Mandalorian, you know, all these rumors coming out that Bo-Katan was gonna be on, Boba Fett was gonna come back, Ahsoka was gonna be on the show. I mean, look at all the rumors, and then it turns out, like, you know, there was people like kind of keeping their guard up, like, guys, I don't want the spotlight to be taken away from Mando and Baby Yoda at the time. I don't want the spotlight to be taken. And guess what? The spotlight wasn't taken. So
Yeah.
maybe at the end with Luke Skywalker for
Just
for
gonna
a
say,
moment,
except
right?
for when Luke showed up.
Yeah, Luke,
Except
when Luke
for-
shows up,
except for
everything's he can take the
But-
spotlight.
But after, you know, after these two times, you know, Rebels handling it well, Mando handling it very well. I don't know, like I'm open for them
Hmm.
injecting Quinlan Voss. I wouldn't be down for Ahsoka and Rex to be there consistently, but if they were there like a few times or open up communication channels with them, hey, I'd like that. So but I understand
God, I
when
just had a
people
thought.
say, tell us.
No, you said opening up communication channels, and that made me think of Fulcrum.
Fulcrum. Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, I just got like, oh my God, we could see Ahsoka when she's first becoming Fulcrum.
Oh, that'd be
Oh.
cool. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, I'd
Anyway.
love that.
That's funny. Yeah, I agree though. And before I get into my characters, Bad Batch is I already said the word obscure, but I'm running out of vocab, so I'm gonna say it again. It's like an obscure topic, so I feel like including Quinlan Voss would not be weird for anybody watching. Like everybody watching the Bad Batch, I feel like would be pretty familiar with Quinlan Voss, or they'd be happy to learn about him. It's not like they're putting him in, you know, some like Mandalorian super, you know, everybody knows about Mandalorian and stuff like that. But I feel like it would be perfect. Perfect, man. Get Quinlan Voss in there, man.
I'm down.
But also, I was thinking about this when you guys are talking. How about Barriss? What if we see the formation of the Inquisitors or something, and Barriss and the Grand Inquisitor or something with Barriss? You know,
Ooh.
maybe.
Maybe, yeah.
Maybe.
I do like, though, what's lingering in my head right now, my thoughts, my never-ending thoughts, is Michelle said that she would love some exploration of the criminal element. And I would love if they, you know, they're mercenaries, so they're obviously going to teeter that way. I'd love Dryden Voss. They got the animation for him done.
my
I
God,
mean,
they got it.
they could use him. Hey, Paul Rudd, are you doing anything after WandaVision? Oh no, not Paul Rudd.
Good Paul Rudd. Paul Bettany.
Jesus. Paul Bettany. Paul Bettany, like,
Too
hey, are
many
you doing
Pauls.
anything after? Yeah, I know, right? Paul, Star Wars boss, but the best Paul. But yeah, Paul Bettany, like, are you doing anything after WandaVision? Get him in there. One of the things that I love in Star Wars that hasn't been like really, really explored in like the movies and TV shows is like the criminal underworld. Like, I was reading the Poe Dameron book a while back in August, and it talked about the criminal element after the Empire fell, and how it was in such disarray because the New Republic couldn't like keep on top of them like the Empire was, and it just got worse. And I do want to see what how they go from Republic to Galactic Empire. Like, does that change? Better or worse? So yeah, I would like, as Michelle did, I love that.
And especially the change of Clone War. I mean, not Clone. I did that too. Clones into stormtroopers. I know they're not stormtroopers, but they're definitely especially from the trailers too. The little that we saw, they're walking around like stormtroopers. They're not the lovable folks that we know. You know what I'm saying? It seems like that. Maybe they are. Maybe they're just bloodthirsty, lovable people. But we got one question left for today. And it was Star Wars Lore Master and Captain Rex Daily. They both ask similar questions, so why not just say both of their names? But what about the series are we most excited for? Michelle, you were talking about depth, but how about you go in depth about that? Ooh.
Ooh, very nice. Um, yeah, I mean, character development for me is always such an interesting thing to see. Like first and foremost, when we do have characters that we don't know a lot about, but I would really just love to see a wider galaxy, like new places, new planets, new peoples. Um, I guess because it's on my mind, like I do want to see that like darker side of like the empire coming to fruition and what's the conflict there for the Bad Batch? Are they going to willingly go along with it? Are they not? That's a lot of thoughts into one word,
Yeah.
just one sentence, but yeah, lots of things.
And then another thing, Mike, you were talking about this earlier, how the Empire had such a strong grip on the criminal empires and stuff. It would be cool to see the Bad Batch as like the enforcers of like that keeps everybody in line, they keep everybody in check, and that's why they were so secured because the Bad Batches. I mean, I'm not even gonna lie, they're pretty freaking strong. So they could be the reason, but I
Yeah.
say that's not likely, but that would be cool.
I mean, yeah, that'd be. I don't. I. I don't. Yeah, I don't think that's very likely, but that would be an interesting take. I mean, I'm always open to different ideas.
Yeah,
So
maybe for
yeah,
like the out of control ones, they send that. I don't think they'd be the enforcers for everything, but maybe.
yeah.
A
I
little
mean, I
thought there.
wonder. I just. I know we'll get more deeper with knowledge as like little tidbits come out. Like you guys realize, like within the next month, like once right now, Disney Plus is promoting Falcon and the Winter Soldier. By the way, I was over here mapping out Disney Plus's release schedule. People were telling me, "Oh no, Bad Batch is going to release it like early February, like Clone Wars last year." I'm like, "No, I don't think so. WandaVision is going to be their big push." I was right. No, March is going to be the month. I don't think so. Like WandaVision is going to end. Falcon Winter Soldier is going to start up. They're like, yeah, I know they could do two things at once. Guess what? Bad Batch is coming after
Right,
Falcon and Winter
right,
Soldier. Right,
yeah, right after
right
all of them.
after. Right. So I mean, look, I was right, but I mean, you know, I don't. I'm just excited to like get right now. They're going to be pushing WandaVision and its end, and then they're going to be pushing Falcon and Winter Soldier. And then we're going to get like while the series is wrapping up, we're going to get like a trailer. We're going to get another trailer for Bad Batch. So as we go along, like most of our theories that we've been saying are more of our wants and needs, they're going to be taken away as we learn more information. But right now, it's just a fun phase to like, hearing Grogu theories,
Hmm.
very suitable for the show, but hearing Grogu theories, hearing this and that, Quinlan Voss, like I'm sure in a month or two, it's all going to change. So I'm
Yeah,
excited. I'm just excited right now to like pitch things out
Yeah.
and whatnot. Or, Carrie Beck could come out saying in an interview, oh, like they do have the chip inside them. They're going to go through Order 66. We're going to see that. Everything could change. But right now, it's just a fun time just to speculate as a fan.
yeah.
Hell
And
yeah.
honestly, because I don't really, well, nobody really knows exactly what could happen. I mean, we said a couple of theories that I would be super excited about, but like mainly, I'm just excited to get back into the Clone Wars animated universe. I miss the
Yes.
animation already.
Hell
Like
yeah.
I was sad without it, and I'm just glad we're back. It looks so good. Look
Yes,
like a
that
like tiny little trailer, man. It looks so good.
animation. I know it. Clone Wars gets the praise it deserves, and so Rebels is really coming around to
Yeah,
getting
I
noticed
like
by
it, man.
fans. But it's just if that show looks like Rebels, I'm still watching. If the show looks like Clone Wars, I'm still watching. So yeah, I'm like you said, I'm just excited to be back in this
Yeah.
animated universe where we're comfortable. Like I was.
Yeah, we're out
That's
of
not
our
a right
element.
term.
We're out of our element watching Bo-Katan in live action.
Yeah,
It's
hell
weird.
yeah.
Oh,
It's weird.
yeah.
It's weird, and it just feels like we're back at home, and it just feels like Friday nights or
My God,
Friday.
literally.
It's gonna invoke that old feeling. So yeah, I'm excited.
If I can just piggyback off of uh, being back in Star Wars animation, just yes, yes to everything. Every single animated show. Granted, there's only 3, but they're beautiful, they're wonderful, and they
Yeah.
are just so good and criminally underrated. So, and just have consistently beautiful visuals, beautiful storytelling, beautiful characters. I definitely feel the same way. I think just being in like live action world is so different from the type
It's
of Star
stressful.
Wars that I like to just regularly consume and be a part of and everything. So yeah, I'm really excited.
Live action's so high stakes. Like when you're
Mm,
watching it, you're like, because it. I mean, I don't want to sound lame or anything like that, but like, it kind of has to be a certain kind of way, you know. Like
yeah,
animation, they can go off the walls, they can do whatever they want, but like live action kind of has to be. It has to, feel right, which is it's hard to do.
And
You,
fit the budget.
yeah, exactly. Like you can tell they're spending fat stacks.
I just hope with Bad Batch they kind of take the Rebels approach to some of the like action sequences, because in Rebels like it's a lot more slowed down, or I should say it's realistic. What people don't realize, people are like, "Oh my gosh, this is so slow." Or the space battles,
mm,
people complain that they're slow, and I'm like, guys, like look at Mandalorian. Like people were complaining about
Yeah, they move
some of the
slow.
action not being up there, and I'm like, guys, like y'all don't realize this, but like our minds, well, especially mine, because I definitely felt that vibe. I'm like, this is a little too slow, but it's like we're trained in this we grew up and we're groomed in the animation style of action where everything is supposed to, like, Jedi are supposed to be flying off walls, clone troopers
right,
are supposed to like go flying by the force of Anakin is supposed to like push them over the like raise them up, throw them, pick them up, or even pick up enemies and do all this fancy stuff. And it's like, we kind of got some of that with Luke in Mandalorian, but it's like, guys, like yeah, I don't know, I just love when Rebels kind of took like a more realistic approach to those types of things, because when you watch Rebels and then you watch Mandalorian, in that, in the sense of
Yeah, it feels the
action
same.
style and stuff like that, it feels the same. Like it just feels like cohesive. And when you watch Clone Wars, which is like crazy, crazy fighting, crazy battles, and then you watch like Mandalorian or something even live action, it doesn't feel the same. So I just hope Bad Batch takes the Rebels approach. People may not like it, but hey,
I think your dreams are going to be crushed on that one, man.
yeah, they
Especially
will. They
especially
will.
after the Crosshair's little snipe that killed like 300,000 droids and record doing weird stuff. they're definitely
I
they're
can't
definitely
wait for
crazy
more
with
Wrecker.
their. You gotta stop lying, bro. Don't lie to the folks listening, man.
okay, but wait, but like actually on that note, like I was talking about depth earlier. A very good job that they did with Zeb in Rebels is not making him just your stereotypical muscle
Yeah,
character. 4 episodes in, we understand this history he has with Callus, and then over the course of the show, they learn to work together, forgive each other. You realize Zeb has so much more personality than just like that muscle type, or even like, and going back to Wrecker, one of the things that I personally hated is that they infantilized him. They made him a baby. They made him annoying, which is a very
yeah,
common like
he was
stereotype
pretty
for like the
annoying.
muscle character, the muscle
Yeah,
type of character, right? This show has the opportunity to just absolutely like flip that on its head, flip stereotypes on the head, give characters that are currently, as of right now, just due to the we've only known them for 4 episodes. It has the opportunity to give these characters just the most fascinating story and characterization that I think would be really unique and unlike anything we've had for clones for this time period, that for any character we've seen. That's my
well,
little rant.
I'm getting inspired.
I love that. I seriously do. Yeah, I think they did great work with Zeb, and he definitely didn't fall into that trope. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think you stated literally every bullet point. Yeah, I definitely want them to take that approach with Wrecker. Show something more, or like
Yeah.
something different. Come to approach it at a different angle. But like he heavily annoyed me in
Mm-hmm.
in the arc. But yeah, I am willing to give them the opportunity to change my mind. I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. Tech annoyed me because he just stuck to one thing. I mean, they all annoyed me except Hunter because he was just a little bit more chillax.
Yeah, I like Hunter best.
Yeah, I mean, he's the obvious choice, but Crosshair just Wrecker was annoying, but Crosshair was just I just wanted to
want to slap that guy. Man.
Yeah, but you know who doesn't fall into the muscle trope? Carter. I think Carter is a very charismatic and everything Wrecker is not.
Thank you. I knew that was, I don't know why I knew that, bro. I knew that was coming somewhere, though. I was going to say it to you, too, actually. I was going to be like, Mike is, you think he's the muscle, but you got me first, though.
No, that's all you. I mean, I'll text Carter. I'm like, hey, man, I have some ideas for the show. He'd be like, hold on, I'm pumping iron right now. And I was like, all right, I'll give you some time.
All right. You got me, man. You got me. But hey, man, that's all we got for time and questions today. I know we took a poll. You guys said you liked the longer episodes, so we're taking that in. It's also a lot more fun for us to be able to talk for a little bit longer. And I don't even know how it would have gone we would have had 2 other people. We would have gone pretty fast on these questions, but this was a great discussion, guys.
Yeah.
So let's get down to the dirty work right here, guys. You already know where you can find me. Grogu's Gang, Instagram, no spaces. You can look us up there, or at the.bro.wars. Almost messed that up. On Instagram too. If you guys want to send in any questions, or if you have any questions about the show or anything like that, you also can send them into Grogu's Gang Podcast at gmail.com. Nobody sends them there, but if you want to be special, you can send in a question there. That'd be fun for me. But yeah, where can these magnificent people find you guys?
Well, this is crazy again because it's March 2nd and we're graced by the presence of Ahsoka. So Michelle, I think this is great that we have you on today. So
yeah.
But you guys can follow me at all_Star Wars. I'm still doing my Clone Wars coverage. I'm trying to pump them out as best as I can or as soon as I can. They're tedious to do, so it's like I got to write a script up, then do the post format. But check them out there. I think the next episode, or when this episode goes out, I'll probably be around one of the Naboo or one of the episodes from season 1. So catch me there in all my Clone Wars glory, I guess.
Okay, love the plug. That was great. You can find me on Instagram at AhsokaXTano. My focus is all things Star Wars animation. So my goal is to just keep everyone updated on all things related to, obviously what our next project is, a Bad Batch. So I'll be sure to share any news and things there. So you can check it out.
Fantastic.
I just really quickly, I want to give credit to Michelle because she's posted and kept up with animation in such a professional sense. And even there's droughts of animation where the biggest thing there is like a little 2-second or like a 2-minute clip on YouTube, and she's covering it, like she's on top of that. So please indulge her. This is her time to shine. Bad Batch is coming out, so indulge her, and follow her, check her out.
Thank you.
Definitely. And
if that means anything.
No, I appreciate it so much. Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, check out all these guys. All these guys are cool. Check out Arda and Caleb. We love them. Thank you too for both joining me today, Mike. Happy to have you as always, and Michelle. I'm very happy that I could have you on as a guest. This was a great discussion.
I absolutely enjoyed it. Thank you for having me, and I loved it too. I love just chatting with fellow nerds. It's the best thing in the world, really.
Hey, you call me a nerd now.
I say that proudly as a fellow nerd.
I like the term geek, but a nerd is okay for today.
Okay, sounds good. I'll make that later.
Oh, man. All right, guys. But that's all we got time for today. I know people have probably already clicked off, but if you guys are about to go to work, have a good day at work, make the money, go to school, make sure to do that assignment, stop putting it off. I know it's due Sunday, but do it on Friday so you have a nice weekend. And man, I'll have Michelle. I want you as a guest sometime in the future. Mike, I will see you next time with the rest of the guys.
Will you?
Hey man, don't leave that. Come on.
I might take a sick day. I don't know.
Oh yeah, just like everybody else. We'll put up our questions. You guys will see our next the topic for our next episode when we put up the questions for it. But yeah, thank you guys. I want you guys to stay safe out there, and we'll see everybody on the next episode, episode 6. Thank you.
Adios.